More Battlefield 6 rumors are looking pretty promising. And also, what does the endgame of Warzone look like? I'm joined by Aaron Sampson, and guys, if you are back for another week of these chats, drop a like and subscribe if you haven't already. Okay, Aaron, what is the latest with Battlefield 6?
Ooh, okay. Battlefield 6 rumor time. Again, as always, we're just going to point out that these are rumors and speculation at the moment. And what we love to do is just have fun with those rumors and say, like, if they were true, this is kind of how we would feel about them. So what's going on with Battlefield right now? There's sort of two main rumors swirling around. One of them from a, slightly reputable leaker. That doesn't mean that they're right. But what that person said was, we're going to get a cinematic trailer now, and then we're probably not going to get a demo or gameplay until E3 this summer during EA Play Live. If that's true, again, that'd be a little disappointing if we just got the cinematic trailer and then got the gameplay later on. But that's actually pretty consistent with how Battlefields have been released over the years. Now, what he's saying is actually in that trailer sounds really interesting. So, there've already been a lot of talk about the game being near future, about 10 years from now. And they, the tweets added a little bit more flavor to that, and fans got in there and did mock-ups. So we're looking at Ospreys, we're looking at Boston Dynamics robots, drones, and other kind of near future tech, which, Richie and I, when we were looking over this stuff, we immediately started laughing. If you keep kicking the robots, Boston Dynamics, like, this is what you get. We're going to get robots, and they're going to have enough of us humans. And then the humans are going to be dead.
They will remember every kick that you give them, so don't do that. I hate those videos.
But hey, maybe this is the chance for murder robots to get their revenge. Okay, so let's talk about a couple of those things individually really quick. As as an old Battlefield fan, Ospreys, super cool. They're like the combination helicopter aircraft. So they would probably let you ferry troops across the field, which gives support players and helicopter fans something new and fun to do. Basically get players across the map quickly and drop them off. Boston Dynamics robots are awesome. I really miss the EOD robot. I miss the MAV, which was a little flying surveillance drone that, we learned 6 months later could also destroy equipment. It's that sandbox that a lot of Battlefield players really miss, like discovering things that you didn't know you could do. And it just feels like Battlefield's been missing that for a while now. The watching a video and being like, holy hell, I didn't even know you could do that, right? So if we're going to drones, we're going to equipment, we're going near future, but not too crazy in the future. That is a net positive. So sort of in summary, near future, bringing that sandbox back would be amazing. Little disappointing if we only get a cinematic trailer and then we have to wait until later in the summer to actually get our hands on. They've said a bunch of times the game's way ahead of schedule, so I hope that's wrong, and I hope they have a demo that'll come out sooner, but that's fairly consistent with how they've released Battlefields in the past.
All your talk about this equipment reminds me of Modern Warfare 2019 and all these myth-busting videos. There were more than ever for that game, because I kind of felt the same way. There was so much tech, and it's like, oh, I didn't know you can do that with this, with XYZ. And that's a good feeling.
So speaking of Call of Duty, Warzone is getting more and more ridiculous over time. And we're now looking at a Warzone that is going to do the zombie event coming up very soon on the 21st. But also now in the future, going to have to smash in World War II games and whatever else is going to happen. Which kind of begs the question, Richie, where is Warzone going in the future?
It's tough to say right now, because you're right. Little by little, things are getting crazy, and that's usually the way that games go. In the yearly cycle, the second half or more, it gets crazy. But with Warzone, it's sort of a different experience. This is a more of a service game that's going to stick around for a while, and it's going to incorporate more and more games. There's already 2 games and a million guns and a bunch of funny skins. So that got me thinking about how it's sort of like Call of Duty Online and Call of Duty Mobile. It's just sort of a crapshoot of all these games, and that's not really a bad thing. Aaron, you know how much I talk about Call of Duty Mobile to you, and how it's I want to say it's slept on, but it's not. Millions of people are playing. So if you play, let me know in the comments, because I'm generally curious. I don't know if it's just children because it's for free and they have access to an iPad, but I play every now and then, and I always have a lot of fun. It's goofy. It's goofy in its marketing, and it's way goofier in its customization and skins, and it's doing things that any other Call of Duty game has never done. Same kind of goes for Call of Duty Online. It's like the older brother to that. Like it's a mishmash of maps throughout every Call of Duty, guns throughout every Call of Duty. It's not available in the North American region, so I've only seen gameplay, and I'm jealous because there are a bunch of maps I want to play and stuff like that. The closest thing we can get to is Call of Duty Mobile, and it's fun. So first of all, I suggest you play it, and second of all, I'm kind of thinking like long term, this whole mishmash style of games across the decades can be something that Warzone can get to if I'm thinking really wild about it. But it doesn't sound that too out of the question. It's already kind of like that in some ways. Like the seeds have been planted to go a little crazy here. Whether or not people will stay for however long is the question. But then again, Call of Duty Mobile does millions, Aaron? What was it? Billions of dollars in microtransactions? Like
the parent company made something around $10 billion. That's not just on Call of Duty Mobile, but it's a chunk of it. And if that's not getting Activision's attention, I'm not sure what would exactly. But so I guess the question is, like, now that Cold War is adding in dragon guns and samurai swords and people in yellow Kill Bill outfits, like, do we want Warzone to get that silly? I mean, you said it's good. Like you said, Call of Duty Mobile is actually quite good.
It's just it's a different environment and it's easy to access. Like I played with my iPhone and a PS4 controller. Like that's it, and it's free. So I definitely see the future of Warzone. I'm not hopeful, but I'm curious if it could get there. We're just gonna have to see how that goes down the line. It's too early to call. So that's how we're thinking Warzone might end up. But what is the state of Warzone right now? Aaron, what's going on? What's the latest?
Yeah, so people don't have much longer to wait. This zombie event on the map has been happening very, very slowly, not being communicated the best, but we finally have a clear end date. That's the 21st. And we know things are going to happen at the dam based on tweets and paraphernalia that Treyarch loves to send out to their YouTubers. That's consistent with a splash screen too, which was a picture of the dam. So the real question is, what are they going to do? How are we going to get back to the 1980s map with zombies? And how much are the nukes actually going to tie into this? But overall, this season has just felt like a lot of stalling. The zombies haven't been very exciting, and it's time to get this thing moving. So we're glad. And it's going to happen now. Hopefully it'll be fun. Hopefully it'll be as good as Haunting of Verdansk. I'm
looking for that limited time mode kind of vibe too, because that was so fun last time they did it. So I know they're capable of doing it. But you're right about all the stalling. And I've been playing a little more Warzone lately, and I've seen those missiles kind of just coast by, and that video of that one landing, which just kind of like doesn't do anything on impact. So it's a little underwhelming. I'm still having fun with the core game, which is important. But let's go. We got the date. We'll be there.
Where I'm at right now in Warzone is I've decided I wanted to show up the Cold War kids, even though they have the better weapons. So I've decided to do a couple rounds as like all Modern Warfare, as savage looking as I can with Modern Warfare guns. And I actually won one last night, so I was pretty excited about that. But yeah, I'll be here representing for the Modern Warfare 2019 crowd. But that's not to say the Cold War people don't deserve the best. And we hope that you guys are really enjoying the game. Also, assuming that some of these balance changes finally happen that I think pretty much all the fans have been asking for. The meta needs to change a bit away from a couple of high-powered weapons.
Yeah, the meta is in sort of a weird place. It's a little more streamlined than before, but hopefully it just gets better and better. But speaking of the meta, Raven Software announced a bunch of more bans. I think they're at a total of like near 500,000 bans, which is good. And like, I want to be positive about that because it is good. They're not doing nothing. But the thing is, I just hope more of these accounts don't keep sprouting up. We're still seeing hackers. I mean, I would say less in my sort of lobbies, which are, mid-skill level players, but also we had another sort of accidental ban problem with zombies players on PC. I don't know if you all have heard, but players on PC are getting to high rounds of zombies, kind of like normal. But when they do, they're getting this weird error, and they're not just getting kicked out of a game, but they're getting account bans. Like, it's pretty unfortunate, and I don't know if they're doing anything about it, but it doesn't seem to be that common, but common enough. Like there's a Reddit thread going around with like more and more people talking about it every day. So it's unfortunate. Hopefully something can be done, because your reward for getting to like round 50 of zombies should not be getting an account ban. And that's sucks to see.
You're just too good at killing zombies. Be less good at killing the undead. I mean, come on.
Yeah, save some for us. Also, in some more unfortunate news, it looks like Vanguard's production might be a little rocky right now. Aaron, what do you know?
I mean, it's plausible. Sledgehammer, who is supposed to be the studio that's now developing Vanguard, people, they were theorizing that Sledgehammer is probably behind right now because they've been sort of shuffled between studios for a couple different games now. Paradox here said Vanguard is allegedly just hanging on by a thread, and if true, Battlefield is taking no prisoners. So yeah, the development cycle for Cold War was obviously a mess, with multiple studios being taken on and off of those. One of those studios being Sledgehammer, who, it would kind of make sense after being pulled off Cold War and then asked to make Vanguard within a very short span of time, means that it's one of the shorter development cycles that they've ever had for a Call of Duty game. And that means there's potential, if that's true, to get another Rush Call of Duty game. I'm not sure if Call of Duty fans can take another Rush Call of Duty game. Cold War was definitely had issues. Had issues at launch, and just sort of generally felt like a step back in many ways than Modern Warfare, particularly in just like visuals and animations. A lot of the movement mechanics and the shooting was intentionally made the way it is in a more classic Call of Duty style. And I don't want to take away from that, because that was intentional. That's the way that classic Call of Duty players love it, and they are enjoying that. But things like animations, armor, doors, and things like that felt very rushed and added in later to kind of bring it in line with Modern Warfare. And they don't really quite work as well as Modern Warfare. I don't know, man. Like, I don't know if the Call of Duty crowd can take another hit like that. But we'll just have to see,
And with that, let's move on to some good news and your comments. First, some good news from Infinity Ward, which we haven't heard from in a while. They came out and explained why the 3 new maps were launched quietly and then taken down. 2 of them, I believe, were taken down. So Infinity Ward just explained that they needed a little more love and a little more work, but they'll be back. So this is great news. Any support for Modern Warfare is good support. Moving on to some of your comments. By the way, keep leaving them. We love reading them, and we love featuring them in these episodes.
Last week, we asked you guys how you wanted the map to transition back to the 80s, and the best response was by Jfro, who said, all the vehicles in Dansky turn into DeLoreans, and you and the boys got to hit 88 in the airfield. Yes.
I almost didn't let you finish that because I was just laughing here. Yeah, that would be great. That would never happen.
Pretty much any other way it's going to happen now is going to be less cool than that idea, so thank you. You've now ruined the zombies event for us.
Jfro set the bar too high with this one, but we'd love to see it. This is some GTA shit right here.
Whoa, this is heavy.
Our next comment from Rick here says, I don't think they'll associate Warzone with this next release, and that it'll carry on independently. This was something that I found pretty interesting, because it might be true. If it's a World War II thing, I don't know how or if Warzone will be able to back it or, incorporate it into anything, really. Aaron, what do you think?
I'll have to fall back on what I know, which is Battlefield. Bad Company 2, made these veteran weapons where they brought World War II guns in as like prestige weapons, like the M1 Garand and a couple other guns. It can be done. The problem is that those guns don't have mods, and I don't know how you handle that. The Battlefield series didn't handle that very well. The last 2 Battlefield games had like very confusing modding systems, or just nonsensical modding systems for World War II guns. So that's a decent point. Like, it would be hard to bring World War II weapons into Warzone. That being said, it just really feels like Warzone is going to be the tie-in for all Call of Duty games moving forward. There's not great options for World War II guns to be in a modern shooter, but there are workarounds if you're willing to be silly enough.
Be sure to tune in next week, you guys, because we are finally going to figure out what is going on the 21st. If you like the video, drop a thumb, and we'll see you next time. Drop a thumb. Oh, God. Okay.